Hi there YouTube, it is Musical Livery here. Very sunny here in Perth, very rainy here in Melbourne. I got completely drenched and soaked on the way home, and I only just got in about 15 minutes ago. So it was a bit of a rush to get everything in place for our departure here today on a spilled Milkrun Monday. We'll be flying Qantaslink QJet actually, it's the call sign, with the Boeing 717 here. Our call sign will be QJet 1974. While I try to find my pen. My good pen's disappeared. Ah, there it is. Cool. So, QJE 1974. Boeing 717 today in the new livery. And this is the Perth scenery. Let's jump on. Cold and dark Boeing 717. Let's get some battery power in. And there we go. So wait for the system to boot up. The first one that'll pop in is the stick shaker. That'll do a self-test in just a couple of moments. Oxygen's good. Hi there everyone, Lachlan and Nick. Here we go. Stick pusher. Stick pusher. Come up here and start doing some tests. First one will be this one. That's the cockpit voice recorder. Hold down the test button, there it is. Do the lamps on test as well.
Glide slope.
Easy read WS.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Stabilizer. Slats. Flaps.
And the last one will be the big fire test. So the smoke one.
Cargo smoke.
And this one right here.
Fire right engine. Fire left engine. Fire right engine. Fire left engine. APU fire.
That's all the fire tests complete. Start the IRS. Emergency power will go through its self-test. Nav lights are in. Logo's on. test the fuel that we have. 17. Let's check that against the flight plan. 73. 73. Looking good to me. Alrighty, I'll summon the passengers. 105 today. Good stuff. There's another 7-1 over there. Emergency lights are disarmed, we better arm those up now. And let's get out for a little bit of a walk around. Of course he's walking around.
Stabilizer.
Well, here we are at the nose of the Boeing 717-200. We can see the wonderful big chunky eyebrow windows on the top of the cockpit there. 1, 2, 3 of those. They're the pitos right there. Angle of attack sensor. Should really look at the landing gear as well. Quite a low aircraft, this one, quite low to the ground, so we do need to really bend over to have a look underneath some of these components. The one advantage it does have is how close to the ground the baggage handling can be. You can actually load it without a conveyor belt if you want to. There's the forward leading edge slat. Get down under the wing to have a look at the wheels. Checking for leaks. There's ram air intake. That's just a light that shines into the wing. Green light. It's pretty tight under the engine here to get into the baggage area sometimes. I'm showing up as an observer apparently. Well, that's not cool. Thanks, Elijah. Down here we're looking for leaks under the engine, and of course it's pretty easy to see that the cowling is closed. Back of the aircraft looks great. Down under the wheels, making sure that those compressor struts are all happy, no leaks. All of those are nice and solid. That's the flap hinges. Red light. No leaks under the wing. check out the front. Ram air intake's good, light's happy. There's the static ports, 2 of them. The takeoff stack indicator, and clearly we're plugged into the ground power as well. Let's jump on up. Okay, I just want to sit back in the seat a little. Maybe up a touch. There we go. A little bit too over to my side. Okay, let's plug in our flight plan. Active data to the 29th of January. Going YPPH and YCHK. Is that not correct? Ah, didn't get the H in Perth. That's more like it. Align the IRS. Indeed, I also think it's pretty cool you can walk around the airplane. Okay, QJE 1974. It's going to be 45, and that's going to be 330 on the cruise. 45 in the cost index. Check the alternates. Port Hedland. Alrighty, page 2. Fuel on board will be 7.4. And 0 fuel weight. 42.9. Let's fill in some of the data here. So coming out of Perth, let's listen to the ATIS. ATIS is offline. Dang. .250 at 14. Yeah, it's going to be runway 21. What's the heading on the runway?
Hello.
.196. And the runway length 3444. Cool. And the takeoff weight is going to be it's up here. Planned takeoff weight will be 49,588. Calculate that through. 37 is on the flex. Cool. And the Takeoff CG. Come from out here. 19.9. The zero fuel weight CG is 16.
I'm right next to her. Thank you.
Yep, and NGXU is a very nice aeroplane. I do like it quite a lot. Good, so flaps will be 13, I do believe. Let's bring that up here. Yeah, flaps 13, packs will be on, anti-ice will be off. Flex 37. And it's 12 knots of wind. And the temperature is 32. All that sits in there. Good to go. Hi there, Rossi, how you doing? Given it's 32 degrees outside, it's probably time to turn on the APU. Let's get these things on. APU start. Yeah, that's just GSX doing its GSX thing. General sound up a little loud today. $123.8 for the ATIS. GPU generator can go on, air is on, and we'll just start up the air conditioning now. Alrighty, let's run our first checklist. Gear pins and covers are removed, maintenance log is with us, status page is checked, cargo smoke was tested, hydraulics are set, electricals are set, air panel is set with the air conditioning on, environment automatic I do believe.
Hello.
Yep. Let's go check this one. Yeah, it's looking fine. Ice protection is not required today. Fuel panel is set. Engines, idle,
Stabilizer.
and set. Flight over to Christmas Creek is about an hour and a half. Engine fire test is done. IRS is aligned. Takeoff warning is checked, fuel switches are done, radar is checked and off, transponder is standby. Rudder and aileron trim are set, 0, and oxygen masks are checked, that's up to the line. Let's chuck in our flight plan. Alright, coming out of Perth today, we'll go Papa Hotel, Yankee 31, not there. To WONYU, 1U.
Thank you.
Victor 35 to Newman. And then Millel. It's Mort, how you doing? Dugov. And that's end of flight plan there. Is that all the passengers? Don't think it is. Half of them. 123.6. Let's give them a call. Perth Livery Q-Jet 1974 requesting clearance to Christmas Creek.
Q-Jet 1974 Perth approach, cleared to Christmas Creek via Amana planned route. Amana 2 departure, runway 21. Climb via the SID 5000 and score 4633.
Go to Christmas Creek via the Amana 2 departure, runway 21, initial climb 5000, score code 4633, Q-Jet 1974.
Q-Jet 1974.
.5,000 feet is set. It'll be runway 21, which is heading 193, I believe it is. Score code 4633. And that's the Amana 2 departure. Hi there, Mort. You missed the walk around. We already did it. Don't worry, we'll be doing another one in Christmas Creek when we come back, hopefully. With any luck, the aeroplane holds together. I know this add-on likes to die at random at times, but we'll see how it goes. I've done a couple of tweaks and updates on it, so with any luck, it'll hold together all the way up. Touch wood.
Now laying 2659, descend via the star 4000.
Okay, checklist below the line. Chips papers are on board. Fuel quantity is checked. FMS is set. Flaps selected for 13 on the takeoff. Stab trim. Stab trim will be 4.4. Good stuff. And takeoff briefing we'll do in a second. I'll introduce myself to the passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking from the flight deck. My name is Trent, and joining me on the flight deck is YouTube. We'll be taking you up to Christmas Creek today as part of the FIFO operation with Fortescue Metals. Welcome aboard our Boeing 717 operating for Qantas and Qantaslink partners.
Netlink 2659.
We'll be departing
descend
shortly
via the star
in just a few minutes,
3000,
hooking up to the
cleared ILS from
pushback
approach
tug,
runway 24.
making our way out to runway 21.
3000, cleared ILS from
Flight time today is about
Netlink
1 hour and a half, and looking like some smooth conditions all the way up. Let's go to take a look at the weather brief in the paperwork here. At the moment, just as we get the last of the paperwork in the cockpit in preparation for our departure. Looking at the weather in Christmas Creek, we had no real weather available, although the entire region is okay. Temperature's about 36 degrees Celsius. Once again, we do welcome you on board. Thank you for flying with us on Qantas Airways. Cabin crew, please prepare the aircraft for departure.
TCAS test pass.
TCAS is good. I'll pick up the intercom and we are listening to them. Beacon goes in. And since Morts did miss out on the walk around, we get a cheap spin around. There you go. This is our wonderful Boeing 717. We're about to depart. Let's check the V speeds. We have 114, 123 and 133. Stab is 4.4 and VCL is 250. SR speed is 201. We'll set that up now. To brief the departure, we're derated slightly to 37 on the flex, perhaps 13. Currently sitting at gate number 9. We'll be taxiing out probably via the apron taxiway and at some point joining Alpha. There is a possibility they might take us on to Bravo. Assuming it is Bravo, it'll be Bravo all the way through to Whiskey, and we're holding short runway 21. Runway is 3,400 meters long. I'll be using, there is no auto brake on the aeroplane, so I'll be using manual braking if we do need to stop on the runway. High speed abort safety speed is 100 knots, and we're anticipating arriving at 100 knots a little bit before we hit the intersection of the runways. Once we get to the V1 speed, we'll continue on and make our way out. The V1 speed is 114 and the VR is 123. We're actually going to change that, make it 123 for both, because there's a long runway. So it's 1 knot difference, and V2 is 133. If we do need to stop on the runway, I'll bring the airplane to a stop along with the speed brake and chuck in the reverses as well. Assuming we do become airborne, if we do need to return, we'll continue up to 1,000 feet before we change any configuration apart from the gear. So that includes fighting, and if we do need to return, it'll be a left-hand circuit. We'll coordinate that with the approach controller. Assuming everything goes correctly, and we're heading up via Navy Bamble. There we go. Navy Bamble, Helena and Amana. Assuming that's all correct. Don't have any questions, let's run a last checklist. Before start checklist, FMS weight data is verified. Doors, windows and sides are closed and locked. Hydraulic transfer pump goes on. Pack isolation switches are on, beacon is on, and parking brake is set. Perth Bridge, QJet 1974, ready for pushback. Information Delta.
QJet 1974, push approved.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Company aircraft 737 pushing back near Bravo.
Cover 73, cleared for push. QJet 1974.
QJet 1932 identified,
gear.
verify level. QJet 1932, climb via the said, flight level 240.
Climb by the said, flight level 240.
First approach, hello, good evening. Qantas 35, request safe aircraft to Broome International, please. Qantas 35, Perth approach, cleared to Broome International via Amana planned route.
Departure check completed.
Amana 2 departure,
Bypass pin
runway
inserted.
21.
Release
Climb
parking
via
brakes.
5,000 feet.
Okay, we're clear to push.
4627.
Park brake release. It'll be nose to the left.
Qantas 35, could you repeat
All
please
engines
for
clear.
the clearance, please?
Start at will.
We're clear to start.
35, I say again. Cleared to Broome
Isolation
International
switch
via
open,
Amana planned
and
route.
we'll start
Amana 2
number
departure, runway
the
21.
left side first. Actually, no, let's go right side. Let's go.
5,000 feet.
Opening up the right.
4627.
N2's rising.
Clear to Broome International Airport via Amana departure, runway 21, squawk 4667 for Qantas 35.
Set.
Qantas 35, climb via the SID, 5,000 feet, and squawk 4627.
G'day, and welcome to Qantas. For almost 100 years we've been connecting Aussies with the world.
Riley, good to see you here as well.
Mailing 2669, we're vacated for base
Your
17.
journey takes you today. Arriving safely is our first priority. So pay attention for the next few minutes to learn the features of your
Airlane
Qantas
2659 and taxi
And load haul.
turn left on the Delta and
Saying
then
thanks about the thumbnails.
Alpha, left on Delta, 2 round. Mailing 2669.
G'day, from New York City. How'd you get?
And we'll start the left.
Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the class.
QJet, correction, Qantas 35, would you prefer a text clearance?
Ensure it's in place for takeoff.
Set parking brakes.
Undo your
Parking
seatbelt.
brakes,
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Qantas 35, yeah, go
Keep
ahead.
it done up low and tight during takeoff, landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is. That includes infants and children. While seated at other times.
And we're good to wave off.
Operation Mailing 2659, there seems to be a 737 on our bay. Yeah, would it confirm, are they departing soon, or are they have to course for their journey?
I'm hoping to do a return flight. It does depend on how well the 717 performs on its landing. Sometimes it gets a bit weird after touchdown, but we'll see. The intention is to come on back down to Perth.
Yeah,
You wouldn't want to leave a 717 on an outstation like Christmas Creek. It's a mining site. There's no
We've got a
facilities up
717
there at all.
and a 73 off to our right, but there's a 73 off to our left on base 17. Are they pushing, or?
Tow truck disconnected.
Negative apologies,
Bypass pin removed.
59, they've not yet
Thanks,
filed.
mate. You are cleared to disconnect. We'll see you on the right side. Intercom disconnected.
Afternoon, Delta Alpha Whiskey, departed Ginbata. Current heading 300 and climbing level 140.
Closing.
Delta Alpha Whiskey, climb and maintain flight level 140, cleared direct Perth, then Ravon, then
Left
flight
is
plan
clear.
route.
Right is clear.
Cleared direct Perth, Ravon, then
There we
flight
go.
plan route, and climb flight level 140, Delta Alpha Whiskey.
Okay, flaps 13. Set. 13 deployed. In fact, we'll do that from the outside. Behind the wings, there we go. Flaps 13. Sorted. After start checklist.
In the unlikely event
External power switch is off. Auxiliary pumps are on. PAX isolation switches are auto.
We wait.
Anti-ice is not required. Air data heat switch is in.
Qantas 3535.
if you can't reach the seat front, lean as far
So
forward
is
as
that,
you can
and
hold
that.
the
APU master switch is off. Transponder TCAS alt, and the ground equipment gear pins are removed. Taxi checklist, flaps 13. Spoilers armed. Flight controls. And under config.
Good evening, Qantas 09 with you. With information Delta request clearance to Melbourne, please.
to locate your nearest exit as the cabin crew points them out. You might be behind
Qantas 13 any request
Remember your
being
nearest exit. Count the rows between you and that exit.
Qantas 1380, taxi via Bravo, holding point Whiskey, runway 21.
Taxi Bravo on Whiskey on my
Controls.
Qantas 9, I've
Complete.
got your flight
Auto
plan
brake is
here.
not
Just
installed,
wanted to
FCP is
confirm
set.
you want to
Takeoff
track to Melbourne. I've just got the
and
flight
briefing.
plan marked for
Completed.
VFR. Would you like me to change that to IFR for you?
Runway entry point, so we're up to the line there.
That is, yeah, thank you very much for that. Sorry for the
Thank you,
mistake.
taxi.
Please change it to ISR, not VFR, thanks.
If you have to evacuate,
Qantas 9, I've amended your flight plan for IFR and I have that airways clearance available for you when ready.
I am ready, good sir, thank you very much.
Qantas 9 cleared to Melbourne via MEMUP planned route. MEMUP to departure, runway 21. Climb via the SID 5,000 feet, squawk 4646.
Beam up departure, beam up 02, runway 21. Climb SID 5,000, squawk
That's link 1.
Qantas 09.
So that's that position there into the convergence zone.
Qantas
So I'm
9.
suspecting they'll get us to taxi up to Bravo behind the 73. Perth, QJet 1974 is ready for taxi information. Copy.
if you lose your electronic device at any time, please avoid moving your seat or
Delta.
trying to retrieve
QJet
it.
1974, taxi holding point Whiskey, runway 21.
1 point Whiskey, runway 21, QJet 1974. Position Whiskey, let's move.
Hello from Singapore. For important information on deep vein thrombosis, or DVT, check out the health and safety section in your Qantas magazine.
That Qantas safety briefing video is way too long, man.
Time to ensure that your seat back is upright
7 minutes.
and tray table will stay. If you're in business, return your seat to the upright position and
QJet 1932, contact Melbourne Centre on 123.95. G'day.
Melbourne Centre 123.95.
If you need anything, just ask the crew. They're here to help, so follow their instructions at all times. Have a
Okay, Nev and Profile are armed.
Thank you for choosing Qantas, the spirit of Australia.
And Andrew Stallard, missed you there. How you doing?
Delta Alpha Whiskey, squawk 4622.
4622, Delta Alpha Whiskey.
Right, I have terrain on my side and we'll open up the weather radar test.
Monitor radar display. Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
Test complete. Alrighty. checklist below the line. Runway EAD point is full length. EAD is checked. Cabin crew. We'll do that in a second. Radar is on. Transponder is Tara. And lights once we have the runway. Simulation GP, g'day.
Forrest, holding short of whiskey, runway 21.
Qantas 1380, report ready.
We are ready, Qantas 1380.
Qantas 1380, runway 21, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 21, Qantas 1380.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for departure. Like how there's two ways to use the PA. You've got the one right up there that turns that big light on, and also down here you have the PA button, which is just that white button right there. Does the same thing. Right, end of the checklist is radar, transponder, and the landing lights. Lights are ready. Perth approach, QJX 1974, ready, runway 21.
QJet 1974, runway 21, line up.
Runway 21, line up. QJets 1974. Keep trying to put the 17 in front of the 19.
Perth Tower, good evening, QF09, with the request, pushback at gate 152.
Qantas 9, push approved.
There's a Perth Fire Brigade over there.
09, thanks. Good afternoon, Perth approach, Qantas 1380, climbing through 2,200 for 5 hours.
Qantas 1380, identified and verify level, sorry.
3,300.
Qantas 1380, climb via the SID, flight level 240.
Climb over the SID, flight level 240, Qantas 1380.
The lights are all in.
QJet 1970, runway 21, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21, clear for takeoff, QJet 1974. Auto flight set. Clear for takeoff, let's go. And 2 stable at 60.
Perth approach, Qantas 1350 with information Delta, requesting
Take off
clearance
thrust,
to Ginbata.
Qantas
Speed active.
1350, Perth approach, cleared to Ginbata via Amana planned route, Amana 2 departure,
80 knots.
runway 21, climb via the SID 5,000 feet, squawk 4640.
V1.
Clear to Ginbata,
Rotate.
Amana planned route, Amana 2 departure from runway
V2.
21, initial climb by the SID 5000, squawk 4640.
Pulse to the right.
1380, gate 70.
Gear up.
Qantas 1350.
Stabilizer motion.
Perth departure, QJet 1974. Climbing 5,000, leaving 1,800.
QJet 1974 identified, climb via the SID, flight level 240.
Climb SID flight level 240, QJet 1974. Climb power is set. .240 set. Acceleration height. Flap 0. Speed check. Flap 0.
All stations Perth, Perth information echo now current. Changes the wind 230 degrees.
Stabilizer
19
motion.
knots.
Josh Adams, haven't watched your
Temperature
7475
30
video yet.
Perth information echo.
I'll look it up. What's the title of your video? And I could guess, but you know, I might guess wrong. Slash retract.
Tower QF09, request taxi clearance please.
Qantas 9, taxi via Sierra, cross runway 24, continue via Charlie, holding point Whiskey, runway 21.
Taxi down Sierra, cross runway 24, down Charlie, hold at Whiskey, runway 21, Qantas 09, thanks.
Qantas 09.
There we are. I've got you. I see it. Melbourne to Qantas on the 747. Nice. Instead of watching videos, we should have been paying attention to where we were flying the aeroplane, hey?
Qantas 1380, radio check.
Dang.
Qantas 1380, Perth approach, reading you 5. Qantas 1380, Perth approach, reading
Auto
you
flight
5.
safe. Up takeoff checks. Landing gear up. Flaps and slats retracted. Flap TO select to
Perth approach,
D-stone.
35, I
And
could
it is.
approximately on 5
Spoilers
minutes
disarmed.
for push and start. Due to boarding.
Hydraulic pumps off.
Qantas 35.
And we are clear to a flight level, so I'll grab that out now. 1013 set. Across the board. Landing lights and the smoking lights. Passing the seatbelt signs off. And there we go.
Qantas 1380, contact Melbourne Centre on 123.95, g'day.
But I want you to take us around the spot. Yeah, good night.
Approach Delta Alpha Whiskey request.
Delta Alpha Whiskey.
It's a direct op-led available from our current position.
Delta Alpha Whiskey, let me check, it should be, I'll find out for you.
Thanks.
I'm going to play in the old 717. It's been a while since I've flown in one. I reckon it would have been way back, 2000 and... maybe 2001. No, I was in the Jetstar ones, so it would have been 2002. Cool.
Delta Alpha Whiskey, cleared direct outlet.
Good stuff, Michael.
Direct outlet, thanks very much, Delta Alpha Whiskey.
It was fun seeing a flight that you've actually dispatched yourself. 1974. We're probably going to get a frequency transfer soon.
Perth approach, Qantas 1350 with Echo, ready for push from gate 78.
Qantas 1350, push approved.
Push approved, Qantas 1350.
Looking for old Christmas Creek. There it is.
QJet 1974, contact Melbourne Centre on 123.95, g'day.
North Centre 123.95, QJet 1974. Melbourne Centre, QJet 1974, climbing flight level 240 and leaving flight level 185.
QJet 1974, Melbourne Centre, hello, climb flight level 330.
Flight level 330, QJet 1974.
Qantas 777 descent 9000 QNH 1009.
330, set.
9000 1009. This is 777.
My favourite song. You know, as a musician of sorts, the word favourite doesn't have much meaning to me because it'll change depending on how I feel, what I've recently listened to. One that I do like a lot is the Third Symphony by Carl Vine, who's an Australian composer. You can see it on YouTube. Carl Vine, that's C-A-R-L space V-I-N-E, Symphony 3, number 3. Should be the first one that comes up on YouTube. So that. It is a rather long song. It's not a song because you don't sing it. There's no singers. 26 minutes worth of symphony orchestra. It's a little bit obscure. Not many people like symphonies as their favourite thing, and not many people who like symphonies as their favourite thing like Carl Vine, the Australian composer. or a piece that he wrote in 1995. But there you go, that's my favourite. Which is as good to say it returns to being my favourite quite often enough to call it my favourite song. That's it right there, that one. You're out spotting at Sydney Airport. Very good. I was there over the summer. I was there when it was 48 degrees. Actually, I wasn't there. I was out at the McDonald's, hiding out in the air conditioning. But, you know, the intention was there. We went and spotted in the morning. Then the temperature hit about 35 and we went, yeah, it's about time to go now. Bye. And then the temperature kept on climbing until it hit 48. It was that day. Back in January, whatever date that was, 3rd, 4th, something like that. Gonna see if I can figure out where these lakes are. We've got some really good looking terrain coming up. Gets drier and drier. I should say a very distinctive dry lake coming out. How do you stall after you've landed? That's ridiculous.
This is Qantas 1952, is now airborne, currently going through 5,400 to 10,000. Qantas 1952, leaving from Kalgoorlie.
Qantas 1952, okay, not yet over the place, by radar coverage. You're cleared to Perth via Naylar 500. Track direct to Naylar, climb flight level 380.
Fly direct to Naylar, flight level 380, Qantas 1952.
Please don't crash. Sim is crashing. Sim has crashed. I don't think we can pick this aeroplane back up. We'll have to start over again. Which essentially means we won't be doing a return flight. We'll do, hopefully, the flight out, and that'll be it. Because we won't be able to get there within the next 2 hours. If we had have been alright with this flight, it would have got there about an hour from now. Turned it around and got back to bed about 10:30 p.m. But if we do it around now, it'll be back to bed by midnight, and that's not going to happen. Hi there YouTube, it's Musical Aviator here. We're going to fly a 717 to the place that we're going to, Christmas Creek. From Perth. Let's do it. Unless it's going to crash a second time. It's gone again. You might get to see it from the start, or you might get to see it from me getting frustrated enough to just call it quits. Yes, this is an event that goes all week, to various degrees. First, we need to send the cargo and the fuel. Set this thing up. Start boarding now.
Glide slope. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Stabilizer. Stabilizer. Cargo smoke. Fire right engine. Fire left engine. APU fire.
No mic audio, alright, cool. MiG 35 Newman. Millel. Dugol. Departs will be 13. So 0 at 12. I think it was 32 still. And I'll just take the numbers from last time, which we got rid of. Great. Takeoff weight, it's going to be 49,558. $37, and that's set. Stab trim 3.5. Let's get that ready. Start the APU now. And start the emergency batteries. Yeah, the chances are quite high, unfortunately. 4.5 set. I think we'll just stay inside without going outside the airplane for any reason, for any views at all. I'll leave it on the defaults this time. Grab clearance. Create. APU running. It is. Yeah, I've got a 997. The weather was quite interesting. I got actually drenched when I was coming home on the train. That was interesting. Fun times. Perth, QJet 1974, requesting clearance to Christmas Creek.
QJet 1974, cleared to Christmas Creek via Amana planned route. Amana 2 departure, runway 21. Climb via the STID 5,000 feet, squawk 4643.
Go to Christmas Creek via Amana, Amana 2 departure, runway 21, initial climb 5,000, squawk code 4643, QJet 1974.
QJet 1974.
Hello.
4643 is set. Emergency lights need to be armed. Done.
Test. Pass.
Those are on. Can't remember doing the lights test. There we go. Lights test looking okay. 5,000 is set. Now we need the V3 speed, which is 225.
Hello.
Profile is in and nav is in. Alrighty, Perth, SID, it's runway 21, Amana 2, insert, through the flight plan Navy, Bamble, Helena, Amana. Check that we have that chart. There it is, good. So Navy, Bamble above 8,000, Helena above 120. Those are set.
Thank you.
New Zealand 2253 approaching.
Taxi out via Bravo Whiskey,
Tower on
1021, 3444. V speeds are set and we're flexed down to 37. APU air is on and we are running the packs at the moment.
QJet 1974 Perth approach.
QJet 1974.
QJet 1974, when ready for push, contact Perth Tower on 127.4, good day.
27.4 for the push, QJet 1974.
New Zealand 2253 Perth approach.
There we go. Got a tower out of the deal. QNH 1010 set across the board. Let's run a checklist. Where will I fly tomorrow? Somewhere. Somewhere that's not in the 717. That's good. Damn plane. Every time I use this thing it crashes my sim. Like I literally had to change some of the settings on P3D to actually make this thing work. And it still didn't work. Worked a little bit, at least it didn't have the massive flashing, strobing, black and white screen like it sometimes gets. Okay, we're disconnected from ground power, we're already up there. Over here we're going to turn on the ground interphone so we can communicate to the guys on the ground. We're going to hit the mechanic button. Just making sure that's closed. It is.
Power, New Zealand 2253 with you.
Unlocking. Our sim crashed, mostly because of TFDi. I changed views, and TFDi didn't like that.
Runway 21, line up and wait.
Cool. I can close the door. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the captain speaking from the flight deck. My name is Trent. Joining me on the flight deck is YouTube. We'll be taking over to Christmas Creek today as part of our fly and fly out with Fortescue metals. We do welcome on board our Boeing 717. We hope you enjoy the flight, which will be about 1 hour and 35 minutes. We're getting ready for pushback up the front here, so I do ask that you take your seats as soon as possible and please be seated. We thank you for flying with us on Qantas Airways and Qantaslink partners,
Locking gear,
including Cobham Airways. Cabin crew is about to give you a demonstration of the safety features of the aeroplane. I do ask that you pay them your full attention, as they do have important safety messages for you. Now looking at the weather up in Christmas Creek today, temperature of 36 degrees,
New Zealand 22,
and looks like a pretty smooth ride all the way up. That's it, we'll leave you the hands with the cabin crew.
bypass pin inserted.
So you can enjoy the flight.
Release
Cabin crew,
parking
prepare
brakes.
the aircraft for departure. We're ready for departure. And over the intercom, mechanics, we are just waiting on clearance. Perth Tower, QJet 1974, requesting push.
QJet 1974 Perth Tower, good evening, push approved.
Push approved, QJet 1974. Nose to the left.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Clear to start. Off go the packs. And we'll start the right.
In New Zealand 2253, runway
And
21, clear for takeoff. Correction, in New Zealand 2253, disregard lost.
%, engine set to run. Yeah, I might take out the bus tomorrow, or maybe the 7-3, one of them. Good start, number 2, we'll start the left now.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brakes are set.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Okay,
In New Zealand
engine set to run.
2253, did you want, are you on a SID departure or a visual departure?
SID departure.
That's good start.
New Zealand 2253.
Thank you, Graeme. Declared to disconnect.
In New Zealand 2253, runway 21, clear for takeoff.
Unlocking gear.
Runway 21, New Zealand 2253.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Okay, APU is done. APU shutting down. It's on the right there.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Catch up. Flaps. I'm just going to do one thing first.
Perth Tower, Qantas 1381, request airways clearance from Perth to Christmas Creek.
Everyone's coming up to Christmas Creek.
Qantas 1381, we're just having an issue with some flight plans, so did you want a visual departure or a SID departure?
SID departure on the Air Banana 2 departure.
No worries, Qantas 1381, I'll just fix it and I'll be back in a sec.
1381.
There's flaps in the 7-1. Let's go. Checklist. That's not the checklist. That's the checklist. Cool. After start checklist, external power switches off, hydraulic transfer pumps on, PAX isolation switches automatic, ADR not required, air data and heat switches on, APU master switches off, transponder set, ta-ra, ground equipment is clear. Taxi checklist, flaps are set 13, spoilers are armed, flight controls are checked, brake temperatures are okay. FCP, and that's set 5,000 takeoff data.
Qantas 1381, clearance available.
Let's run the
Ready to
takeoff
copy
brief.
1381.
There'll be taxiing out to Whiskey.
You are cleared to Yankee Charlie Kilo.
Actually, check that out. So after departure, we'll be tracking a left-hand turn. You need to return to the airfield to discover cam and fly a visual approach. Onto runway 21.
Climb via Sid 5,000 feet, squawk 4621, departure
If you do need to put out any fires, it'll be above
123.6.
1,000.
Clear to the Christmas Creek Airport.
Takeoff checklist. Not up to that yet, anyway. Okay, runway entry point will be the full, EAD, and we're up to line here.
123.6, Qantas 1381.
Qantas 1381, confirmed departure runway.
Runway 21, Qantas 1381.
Qantas 1381, thanks.
Perth Tower, QJet 1974, ready for taxi. Information Lima. Foxtrot.
QJet 1974, taxi via Bravo to the Whiskey holding point runway 21.
Taxi Bravo and Whiskey holding point 21, QJet 1974. And let's seat the crew. Cabin crew, please take your seats for departure. This is a high-speed departure. No passenger briefing, just go. Nav's in. Perth Tower QJet 1974 is approaching runway 21 ready.
Airline New Zealand 2253, contact departures, good day.
Switching departure, 123.6. Good day. New Zealand manager.
36 is already set.
Monitor radar display. Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
Runway 21, clear for takeoff.
Runway 21, clear for takeoff, QJet 1974. Auto flight set, and let's go. 67, thrust stable. Takeoff first. Thrust set. 80 knots. V1, rotate. V2. Positive rate, gear up.
Stabilizer motion. Stabilizer motion.
QJet 1974, contact departures, g'day.
Departures, QJet 1974. Perth departures, QJet 1974, climbing 5,000 and leaving 2,000.
QJet 1974, Perth approach, identified. Climb via the SID, flight level 240.
Climb over the SID, flight level 240, QJet 1974. 240, sir.
Netlink 1673, cleared ILS approach runway 21, maintained 3000 until established.
Cleared the ILS runway 21, maintained 3000 until established. Netlink 1673.
Stabilizer motion. Stabilizer motion.
Okay, flap 0, speed check, flap 0. Slat 3 tracks.
Perth approach, this is Qantas 1952 with you at 9,000.
Auto partner command. Auto flight.
Qantas 1952, Perth approach, descend via the star 5000, runway 24, expect ILS approach.
Descend 5,000 for runway 24, ILS approach, Qantas 1952.
Stabilizer motion.
New Zealand 2253, contact Melbourne Centre on 123.905, g'day. New Zealand 2253, Perth approach.
Stabilizer motion.
New Zealand 2253, contact Melbourne Centre on 123.905, g'day.
Switching to 123.905, Melbourne Centre. Unit 2253. Thank you, sir, today. Approach Netlink 1673, established 21.
Join together, Netlink 1673, contact Perth Tower 127.4, g'day.
Perth Tower, CLO, Netlink 1673.
Perth approach, Qantas 784 at 12,000, join 9,000 please.
Qantas 781st approach, maintain 9000, runway 24, expect the ILS.
Maintain 9000, runway 24, expect the ILS.
That's 10,000 feet. Seatbelt signs off.
Qantas 784, descend via the star 6000 and check approach speed.
Descend via the star to 6000 and air will reduce current speed.
A UPS 757 at Broome. Okay, that's an unusual occurrence. How? Why? Okay. And he's parked in the RAAF side of the airfield as well. Or is that the helicopter side? That's the helicopter side. Should be parked in, well, I guess not next to the terminal, but you know. The RPT apron rather than GA one. That's strange. I'm sure there are some US events, although I won't be at them because I'm going to be working on Saturday.
1952, descend via the star 4000.
Descend by the star 4000, Qantas 1952.
Qantas 784, descend via the star 5000.
Descend by the star 5000, Qantas 784.
QJet 1974, contact Melbourne Centre 123.95, g'day.
I'm set at 123.95, QJet 1974. Melbourne Centre, QJet 1974, climbing flight level 240, leaving flight level 150.
QJet 1974, Melbourne Centre, g'day. Climb flight level 330.
Climb level 330 is QJet 1974. 337.
3535, contact centre 127.0, g'day.
Yeah, work's work, gives me money, that's the main thing.
Go ahead, 3535, go ahead.
It's essentially crew scheduling for
3535,
technicians.
contact centre 127.0, g'day. 127.0, thank you sir, g'day, good evening, bye bye.
Basically, I'm the bringer of bad news. Either you have lots of work or you don't have lots of work. Both things are bad. Here's lots of work to do. Oh no, I have to stay up, out, at work, dealing with customers and walking around and whatever. Oh, you've got no work today. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to feed my kids. It's bad either way. TFDi is below par. I bought it because I love the 717. I actually jump seated in a 717 back in July 2001. It's the last aircraft I ever got a jump seat landing in. And I wish I had have had better cameras back those days. But 2001, and I think it was July, mid-July, I actually got to seat. Got to sit in that seat right there during a landing. So that was the last time I was in a jump seat. So I have a soft spot for the 717. I love it. Unfortunately, this particular add-on has its random unfortunate quirks. No, just deployed speed brake instead of disarming it. The FMS generally works apart from a few little things. For instance, you can't do multiple cruise levels. In the real one you can go 330/350 and it will automatically step climb you if you select 350. So essentially what that means is with 330/350 you could select 350 here, your airplane will climb up to flight level 330 and stop climbing until it hits optimum at 350, at which point it will climb again on its own without you telling it to anything. Of course, if you just select 330 like you should, it'll prompt you that it wants 350 when it's ready.
123.6 and thanks for your coverage.
Just like the MD-11. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have that feature.
Back in the cockpit.
Extra time and final time. So with the extra time, you can see that's just blanked out, you can't do anything with it. But for the real one, if you wanted to add extra time to your destination, for instance, if you can't arrive before a certain time, you just chuck your time in there or your planned fuel load, and it will reduce your speed to make that crossing to the destination. Of course, this one doesn't have that. And yeah, this one tends to crash on me more than others. Usually when I'm zooming out of views, especially if I'm not attached to the airplane. So if I'm going to my favourite view where you fly past, it'll just crash the sim. You need to stay in the viewpoint. So pressing Shift S here should be fine because I'm attached to the aeroplane. That's fine. But if I went Shift S one more time, that would possibly crash the sim. Quite likely, in fact. Yeah, it's had its issues in its time. Yeah, they did a lot of updates for the first 2 years of their development, but they've kind of gotten bored of it, I suppose. So I think the last time I had an update was about August, September last year. And of course there's no ACARs, so when you hit the old menu button here, that ACARs thing isn't a thing. Yeah, that's what I've decided to do on this flight. McGive will just stay inside the cockpit, and that means we probably won't have a crash like we did earlier. Lesson learned. Don't press the S button. We've got a CD1 menu. Request. Aha. There. If only this thing had ACARs, that'd be enough for me to just say it was a great product. Pretty much. Hit that menu button, hit the ACARs, and then just suddenly have all the access to the hoppies that we get in the FS Labs. Yep, the rain textures on this aircraft, not that we're going to see any rain today, are top notch. always do that. Apparently some pilots like to put the windscreen wipers straight up because it actually makes it less noisy in the cockpit, apparently. Yeah, the weather was horrific, and guess what I forgot to do? 1013 set. But yeah, we had a nice bunch of rain today in Melbourne. I heard in Sydney they got even more rain than we did, and hail and massive lightning storm. We just got rain. But yeah, it's good to get some rain. Love it. Not sure about the lightning storm, that'll be a bit annoying, but what we got in Melbourne today is pretty good. No lightning, just a bunch of rain. Most of that works. I don't know why they bothered giving us an in-op position 3. The Impulse Jetstar, now Qantaslink 717s don't actually have a centre one. And up here is the flight deck door lock and close. They should have just chucked that away, not bother putting it there. Instead they've given us this dummy one with a silly sticker on it with a smiley face. What? Also, the Qantaslink ones don't have the door lock up there. They have it down here in this section. Yeah, we did get a bit of hail yesterday. Not in Brodie, but further out west, I think Sunbury got a bunch of hail. We still got centre online? We do. They're not talking to anyone there. I'm not sure if you've got the Mad Dog, the MD-88. That's a good plane. Love that. Actually, for a systems person, the best plane right now, as of January 20th, 2020, absolutely has to be the FS Labs A321. Not 20, not 19, but 21. Just an edge above the best. And it's all got to do with the ACARS system that we can connect to with air traffic control. So if you've just go back, I think last Milkrun Monday, I flew it from Sydney to Melbourne, and we were using the CPDLC on it in the air, and we got a request from the air traffic controller to maintain Mach 0.77 or above, and then we reply it via the ACARS. So that's amazing. That's hilarious. It's great. I love it. Up down. How you doing?
Pilot 180. Pilot 180, velocity 559.
Yeah, I'm on 12395.
2253, confirm, maintaining pilot 350.
You're probably hearing the frequency a little bit late compared to mine. 1,000 feet to go.
81 is with you climbing flight level 240.
1381, Melbourne, Centre, g'day, climb flight level 350.
Climb flight level 350, Qantas 1381.
Yeah, we're going to somewhere around, is it there or up here? I think it's up there. Oh, it's lucky out there. Is it here? There you are. Cool. Yeah, we're going almost as far north as Port Hedland. That's Karratha there. Port Hedland's about there. Big state. Yeah, FS Labs is expensive. It's also really good. At the moment I'd suggest buying the 321 because it's better than the 320. Hopefully they'll upgrade the 320 so it has 321 stuff as well at some point. Wonder what some of these lakes are. Ah, there's a big lake. I think I recognise that one. That's got to be Lake Moore. M-O-O-R-E. Hi there, Ellen. How are you doing? Nice wing views. As long as we keep our camera point attached to the aeroplane, we'll be fine. Yeah, you can get the 321 alone, that's fine. I think so anyway, let's check. Or maybe just wait until they upgrade the 320 and you can have that. The 320s are a little bit easier to fly, but the 321 just has more tech on it at the moment. A321X. Yeah, be careful, make sure I hit S to get back in the cockpit and not Control S to detach myself into the other view, because detaching yourself crashes the sim. At least in the TFDi. Maybe not in any other plane, but certainly this one. Yeah, that's Lake Moore. So at least I know where we are in the world so far. Tim Burke, how are you doing? We are flying the TFDi 717. You won't be seeing a full outside view because that keeps crashing my sim every time I do that. Anyway, there's the A321. Ah, there we go, you do need the 320. Darn. Maybe wait for the 320 to get upgraded. I'm pretty sure they will at some point introduce the A cars to the 320. But yeah, the 321 you get the whole A cars experience plus that. And it's pretty amazing. It's my favourite aircraft at the moment.
We've just left flight L340.
Yeah, we are finally getting some rain. It's good to see. Wasn't great to walk through the rain. Completely unprepared for it. Got out of work today and it's like, oh, it's pouring outside. Ah.
10-10-9,000.
Well, I'm not carrying an umbrella today, so I guess I'll just get wet. Mach point 77. I think we could possibly push up to 78.
Over tap on a student A, maintaining level 180.
Qantas 1380, say again.
The new flight sim looks to be very promising, and I can't wait to use it.
1380 cleared to
It'll be good.
control area on descent.
I'm sure it'll be better once we get Vatsim working on it, and better yet again once we get some good add-ons running on it, particularly the FS Labs.
Previous change to crew, 1380.
Just 974, I think that was you calling. Approved this request to call him back.
Melbourne Velocity 1850 through 4,300 departed, calculating time 01. Request airways clearance.
Velocity 1850, Melbourne Center, G'day, squawk 3501, clear to Perth via Naylor flight plan route. Track direct to Naylor, climb flight level 340.
Squawk 3501, cleared to Perth via Naylor, flight plan route direct to Naylor, flight level 340, velocity 1850.
Qantas 1380, just to confirm that I've written the chance to bring me on this using the com 122.8.
Qantas 1380.
One downer about flying in Perth is everything's so darn far apart.
Qantas 2659, Melbourne Center, go ahead.
Let's look at our flight plan again.
Yeah, we're just wondering, we've just noticed that the centre that we were on those
1 hour 31 minutes, so that's even longer.
Should we be on 1270 or 12395?
Qantas 2659, you should remain the frequency. The 12395, that's me. I've assumed the sector that you're in at the moment, so you can remain 127.0.
Qantas 2659.
If you're not handed off, don't hand yourself off.
Just on 972, when ready, descent, flight level 250.
So I'm guessing most of you know that this kind of operation in the 717 Perth to Christmas Creek is a fly-in, fly-out kind of thing for employees of the Fortescue mine. It's an iron ore mine up in the Pilbara.
Just on 972, go ahead, sorry.
Just on 972, have we given you your stock routes yet?
Negative, just on 972.
Just on 972, your stock routes. Beverly 5 Alpha arrival.
That's true. Owen
flight level 250.
here for the most of the flight anyway. I think you missed out on our little PC crash.
Clear to Beverly 5 Alpha for runway 24, when ready, descent 250, just on 972.
972. Qantas 1353, contact me, 123.195.
10395, Qantas 1353. Velocity 1850, request direct to Beverly.
Velocity 1850. Track direct to Beverly, Cypress, Beverly 5 Alpha arrival, runway 2.
Track direct Beverly, Beverly 5 Alpha 24, velocity 1850. Melbourne Centre, Qantas 1353, flight level 400.
Qantas 1353, stock routes available, large copy.
Go ahead, Qantas 1353.
See if we can spot ourselves. Here we are. Nope, that's not me. Here's me. Ah, nice. We're about to get a frequency change in the next
Zealand 5 Alpha
second
arrival,
waypoint.
runway 21, when ready down to flight level
Good stuff.
350, Qantas 1353.
That's the thing about Western Australia, Nick. In Western Australia there are control towers at Perth and Jandakot, which is right near Perth, and the RWF base, Gin or whatever it's called up there. And then you have all of this. There's only centre here. CTAFs, uncontrolled airports.
Melbourne Centre.
There's one tower at Karratha, and there's one tower at Broome, and that's it.
1482, representing go ahead.
5 airports in Western Australia have an air traffic control tower. And everything else is CETA. So you're talking to Melbourne Centre the whole time. So, technically, every city in Western Australia, apart from Broome and Karratha, are on Linesborough.
Okay, we'll maintain for level 340 for now and be ready to velocity 14.
I guess you could say, but Jandakot, yeah, Jandakot's not going to be on that. That's alright. Nobody likes Jandakot anyway. Reckon you could fly a small airplane down a bump.
Melbourne Centre, velocity 1484.
But no, I'm probably going to hit one of the other Pilbara airports at some point. Yeah, Broome's not a bad spot. Looks good. Might go to Burarula.
Sorry, last time you calling say again. Sorry, Melbourne Centre, velocity 1484. 1484, go ahead.
If I can get my BAE 146 working as well. Although I haven't been, so I probably won't be able to do that. I've had some issues with it. Doesn't want to start the engines up for some reason. No, the engines are fine, the flaps won't deploy.
But that actually wasn't the conflict with you, it's with another aircraft.
Roger. Yeah, I'll kind of
might look into that tomorrow at some point, trying to get the BAE 146 reinstalled. Then we can fly to Murrin. That's the one. Murrin near Leonora. What's another good airport up that way?
GPS 123, Melbourne Centre, g'day, you identified, climb flight level... Oh, just climb flight level 380.
Okay, you can climb flight level 380, we're a little bit out of range there, 155.
GPS 123.
Boolgeeda, that's another one that gets the BAEs. And Barrow Island as well.
Velocity 559, a contact approach 123.6, g'day.
123.6, velocity 559.
Ceiling 542, your frequency. Correction, super green, 542, your frequency.
Yeah, I got a cockpit poster of a Dash 8 Q300, which I've plugged up on the fridge with some fridge magnets. Something to look at.
1482, step climb, flight level 380.
Step climb, flight level 380, velocity 1482, thanks a lot.
Snub-nosed dogs. Does that mean they're going to ban the 717 as well, because it's an angry puppy?
And Melbourne Centre just turned 974 back with you.
Just 974, walk back.
We have you about 1 by 5.
Just 971 that you're on right now is going to be the best one for you. Remain 131 decimal lane.
Just 974, no.
Nah, I've got freezer on bottom, easier. That way I don't need to bend down to get into the fridge. Only in the freezer, or not in the freezer very often. So, works for me.
Melbourne Centre, g'day. Citation Uniform Golf Hotel on the ground in Kalgoorlie, 3 POV, taxis runway 11 for Perth.
Citation Uniform Golf Hotel, Melbourne Centre, g'day. Score 3456, call it one.
Say again, for Uniform Golf Hotel.
Uniform Golf Hotel, score 3456, call airborne.
3456 will go Uniform Golf Hotel.
Melbourne, 7 quarter 28 with you, flight level 200-240.
Minus 1928 Melbourne Centre, g'day, climb flight level 350.
Climb flight level 350, minus 1928.
I can see a top of descent point on the top of that flight plan. There we go. That tells me it's probably time to start preparing an arrival. Christmas Creek, runway 27, runway 09. Let's have him grab the meta.
That's 595 if you received your star codes yet.
Here we go. Christmas Creek, also known as Graeme Rowley Aerodrome. That's a tap. There's the meta. Christmas Creek, 190 at 6. So that's 100 degrees off of 090. So slightly, ever so slightly, is better for runway 27. Temperature 36 degrees Celsius. No thanks. And QNH 1007.
Digit 1974, contact center 127.0, g'day.
127.0, QJ 1974.
You contact me 133 days.
Yep, here is well and truly moving, and I think our major fire issue might be almost done. In fact, some of Sydney is flooding today. Possibly Melbourne as well. In fact, the area outside my front garden was a little bit waterlogged when I walked through it and splashed all over the place.
Yeah, 1932 Brisbane setting there.
Melbourne Saturday, QJet 1974, flight level 330.
QJet 1974. Melbourne.
A few more clouds up this side. And that terrain is certainly getting a little bit more desert. Not many trees down there. We're hitting the red interior soon. Let's stick in the arrival star. It's going to be runways 27. Let's pick up what it looks like here. No, I don't have Rect Skyforce. I only have ActiveSky cloud up.
Qantas 1380.
So check Al. Our minimum profile descent is 2120.
Qantas 1380 Melbourne Centre.
Set. And it is inbound via the Lima. Cool. And see this thing? Procedures overlaid by procedures at Fortescue Forrest airfield. Aircraft separation is not assured with that airfield. That airfield will kind of comes across that side, so just before the initial point, or just after the initial point actually, there's a possibility of crossing the other road.
200 219 nautical miles for Qantas 35.
Anyway, let's go through our arrival.
35, staying now approaching top of descent. You've still got
we'll want the plan mode in.
miles to run through. You might want to just double check your top of descent.
Okay, no problem. I just inform you, top of descent at 0948.
So from Dugov, we will track direct to Checkal. Checkal at 5,100. Then to Checkii. Then we fly down the profile, looking across Foxtrot at or above 3,100. Then the MDA 2120, which we'll call 2200. Once we do land, we'll need to backtrack the entire length and go out there. Baby Yoda. Yes, creation of aeroplanes may need to adapt, of course. It's adapted before, it'll adapt again. Every time that the fuel price goes up, we get different aeroplanes. That's why the Airbus A320neo is one of the best options at the moment, and it's why the 737 MAX tried to exist. Because they made a new engine that used much less fuel. Unfortunately, it was a lot larger.
Melbourne Centre, Qantas 1350, maintaining flight level 190, requesting lower.
Qantas 1350, clear for leave controlled area descending, no report IFR traffic, area Q&A, stand by. Qantas 1315, correction, Qantas 1350, clear to leave controlled area descending, area 1008.
Clear to leave the control area, local QNH.
More than 2500? Who knows?
Qantas 1350.
Hopefully we'll be flying to space.
QJet 1930, correct, yeah, try again. QJet 1932, descent to 8000.
Don't watch Star Trek, watch The Expanse. A lot nicer.
1004.
That's a cool, gritty science fiction series. The Expanse, because gravity is still a thing, so is inertia. So when you're pulling G on a spaceship, you're actually pulling G. When you stop pulling G, then it's, you know, 0 G. So that's my recommendation of the day. If you can find a way to watch The Expanse, maybe on Amazon Prime, or on other things, whatever those might be, do so. The Expanse.
QJet 1932, 30 miles to run, correction, 40 miles to run Broome, contact Broome Tower, 1226.0, identification services terminate upon transfer.
Broome Tower 126.0,
I just confirm that 40 DME.
and 40 DME.
Transient Dax. Fair enough. There's Expanse, boys.
Qantas 2659. Well, it's Qantas 2659. We're going to be on a cockpit for
Their spacecraft are just, you know, realistic-ish enough to be believable. They actually pull G's in their spacecraft. None of this inertial dampener stuff. It's like inertially dampen yourself across the room and sputter your face into the wall. Want to re-enter too fast? Alright, there's going to be a big puddle of goo on the ground once you land. And the deck, staying on, hey? We're still another, how far are we away? More than 20 minutes. Time. Current time is 9:25. Yeah, we're about 50 minutes away still.
Melbourne Centre, velocity 1484. Velocity 1484. Velocity 1484, didn't want to leave the cockpit for about 5 mics. 1484 approved, just report when you're back, thanks. Roger that.
Speaking of people falling on the back, Qantas 2659 back in cockpit.
So I got my free Google Nest Mini from YouTube the other day. It's sitting in my bedroom. Kind of creepy, but also kind of useful. Five microphones. You can never have enough microphones. As many microphones as you can find. I've got this headset microphone. The one I'm wearing on my head. I guess you could also count the one that I have for general aviation aircraft. A music microphone that I haven't used for a long time. I wouldn't really call the Google Nest Mini a microphone though. Yeah, YouTube was giving away Google Nest Minis to random people who are, what do they call that thing? YouTube Premium subscribers. It's worth about $50 and they gave it away for free. Looks like this. And without touching it, you just talk to it and say, "Hey Google," then tell it to do something. You can play the radio, you can set an alarm, set in a calendar entry that goes to your phone, you can send a search request that goes to your phone. Having a chat to Arjun.
Melbourne Centre, velocity 1484, back in the cockpit.
23 is cool. Yep. Good old Google spying on you. Five mix. I thought it was 5 clicks. No, that's kilometers, isn't it? Military radio jargon. It's not something I'm particularly familiar with. I always find it funny how they say Angels 5 for 5,000 feet. Angels 33. It's called a flight level 330 like anyone else. Come on. Alan just got home. He's been at work apparently. I'm assuming that's where you've been. Rebuilding your sim? What happened to your sim, man? That's right. One thing I was going to suggest, Owen, is if you ever want to use that old Dash 8 Q400 and haven't got a refund on it, maybe we can do a connected session where I fly the plane so that you don't have to fly the plane. I'll be the pilot flying and you'll be the pilot touching all the buttons. And with any luck, yours won't go spinning out of control when mine isn't. Of course, then I'd need to get you on Vatsim because I don't really like flying without Vatsim or something. Someone to interact with and give me air traffic control directions. Mana.
Hi, Trent.
Hey. It's flying around Western Australia normally this boring. Yes, Owen, is it similar to the story about why Matt Davies is not on Vatsim anymore? Most of the naughty boys from Vatsim end up on IVAO. There's Sean. Ah, he's the UPS.
Qantas 1350 visual with Ginbata and cancel Star Watch.
Yes, Owen, he certainly does do a lot of that. And unfortunately, quite publicly, quite often.
Center, Qantas 1350, how do you read?
Greetings, it is Qantas 2659. I hear you fine, so I think the tower's gone and no one's come to replace it.
Okay, thanks for that, Qantas 1350.
Pretty far away from the Perth guys at the moment. What's our CTAF? Seat out for 127.05. That's a weird one. Yeah, it's really some of the people get a little bit over the top, don't they? Just sit back, relax, we're here for fun. If you heard a real air traffic controller breakdown like that, you probably wouldn't hear that air traffic controller ever again after that shift. Let's put it that way. I know how air traffic controllers go. They log in and then 2 seconds later they're spamming out all of the contact me, contact me. Give us 5 minutes. Log on. Think. When you're tower and you're logging on, you need to spend 5 minutes setting up your ATIS and then having a look at the traffic nearby. Don't contact the guy on short final. That's silly. Anyway, the way that I get around that is by flying on events. If it's not an event, then I'm not flying. That way we know the controllers should be online. Shouldn't they be Melbourne Centre? Who's dropped offline? We've just made a turn. Let's look out here. Very orangey, kind of ginger colour on the ground there.
Melbourne Centre Course 2659.
.31.8. Yes, Christmas Creek is a mine. A large iron ore mine. Part of the Fortescue Minerals Group. Fortescue Metals, there we are. So these dudes own the mine. Looking up on Christmas Creek Mine. Iron ore, Pilbara region. It's, there we are, on the Chichester Range Mountains. Fortescue Metals Group own the mine, FMG. And it's one of the 2 ore mines in the Pilbara, including the Cloudbreaker mine, which is just 50 kilometres west. And that's the reason that we have the note in the approach here, that procedures overlaid by procedures at FDF, which is Fortescue Forrest Airport. So the airports are actually so close together that they interfere with each other's approach.
Remember, Cedar, go down 35, 35.
Cool. Mine's workforce is on fly in, fly out, and mostly on the 717s. There was air traffic control, but they've mostly disappeared. Well, one air traffic controller has dropped offline, and unfortunately he was controlling pretty much everything north, which is where we are. It's actually the second time they've dropped off in this flight. So over a period of about an hour, they've been online and offline 3 times. Baby Yoda, $7.99. Having a great time listening to your stream. Really good to listen to. Have a great rest of January. You too. Thanks, Baby Yoda. Is Baby Yoda like Baby Shark? Don't worry, I've been watching The Mandalorian as well. My methods may not necessarily be Disney-fied. But yeah. Good program. I liked it. We'll begin our descent. Let's clear ourselves down. Level Center and traffic Christmas Creek. QJet 1974, leaving flight level 330. Get back to Radio 1. Traffic Melbourne Centre and Christmas Creek. QJet 1974, Boeing 717, leaving flight level 330, estimate Christmas Creek, time 17. What was the minimum altitude that we can do for the sector? It's 5,100. Cool, let's do that. Set. And we've got that set now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Captain speaking from the flight deck. We've begun our descent into Christmas Creek at this time, and we do anticipating arriving there in about 25 minutes. We do thank you for flying with us on Qantaslink, flight 1974, Christmas Creek today, on board our Boeing 717. Looking at the weather down in Christmas Creek, we're seeing a temperature of 36 degrees Celsius and a breeze mostly from the south. Once again, thanks for flying with us. Do have a great shift up here in the Pilbara. Cabin crew, please prepare the aircraft for the arrival. Checklist. Descent checklist, landing data and briefing has been completed. MDA has not been set yet. Let's do that now. MDA is 2120. Is set. Let's briefly go around. Is RNAV tracking right hand turn, missed approach up to 3100 and then climb to 5100 to restart at Juliet. Alright, for the approach we have speed. Will be flaps 40, speed is 145 on the approach, 140. And we don't have any auto brakes on this aeroplane, so we'll be using manual braking. FMS is set with the approach. And that's descent checklist up to the line. We'll proceed through 10,000. Now we'll tune the 122.8, have a listen to it as well. And 127.05 is set. Correct, Kirk. FMG being Fortescue Metals Group. Would you look at that mine? Lots of iron ore coming out of that. That's not the FMG mine, that's not Christmas Creek mine, that's a different one. Not sure which one it is, might be Boolgeeda, I'm assuming. Somewhere near there. Catering is junk at Christmas Creek. Oh well. You're there to work, not to eat. It's interesting the differences between some of the mine sites. You just wonder how they... you know. Way further west, BJ, cool. No idea which one that is then. Wasn't really looking, was I? I know what I can do, I put the airport line on. Oh, that's Newman. Okay. Flew straight over Newman. There's West Angeles. Fortescue, what was that? FDF, which is Fortescue Day Forrest. Ginbata. Lots and lots of aircraft.
Maximum speed available, please.
Current Mac is decimal 646 and max available would be 265 indicated.
maximum.
Mountain Whaleback BSP. Thanks for that. I don't know my Western Australia at all, so never been. Let's put it that way. I'm not even sure I've even flown over Western Australia to get anywhere. No, I would have gone over the top. Yeah. Yeah, of course you can select it. You go into, let's see, flight plan, star, you select the actual approach, then you give it its minimum altitude. Press insert, and then it'll give you the transitions after that. Now we're almost all already on there, so not sure I want to do it now. There we go. So once you press insert, then you get all the transitions. I'll do it without touching it. Yeah, I can. Cool. Min profile is your minimum profile, so it's essentially your minimums. The descent profile that you'll stay in the VNAV for is minimum profile. Here is our Boeing 717.
Graeme 542, contact approach 123.6 today.
1236, have a good evening. See ya.
Let's grab so QJet for 1974, estimating Christmas Creek at time 10.
QJet 1974. Number sent to you, clear to leave control area on descent. No reported traffic at Christmas Creek. Control services terminate, frequency change is approved. Report on the ground termination of Starwatch go.
Cover the traffic and we'll go QJet 1974. Okay, clear to leave controlled area on descent, which we're pretty much done already, and we'll flip it over. Time 10. Thanks for that, Plorks, have a good one. Traffic Christmas Creek, QJet 1974, it's a Boeing 717 on descent, leaving flight level 145 on descent for the approach runway 27. Estimated time circuit, time 11. Church Creek traffic. Christmas Creek traffic. It's not Church Creek. Come on. I buggered up that announcement, didn't I? CTAF call. Get some lights on, get the seats on. Here is our outside of the aeroplane. And there's a bunch of iron ore. Very much so. It's changing views, that's the problem. Of course, we need to be in the cockpit to land. There's 10,000. Lights in. Cabin crew, please prepare the aircraft for landing. Checklist bar line, seatbelt switches are on, and we want to have our what is it? Altimeters. Altimeter 1007. Set. Yeah, it is AU2. Thanks for that, Kirk. Sorry about missing your message there. Yeah, this is what's it? FTX Australian version 2. Looking pretty good, isn't it? Can't wait to see this kind of thing in the new Flight Sim, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like these random clusters of buildings around the place. And speed coming back, flaps, slats I mean, 10 slats. In fact, we can take it all the way down to flaps 18. Speed check, flaps 18. Set. Traffic, Christmas Creek, QJet 1974, Boeing 717 at 7,500, entering the RNAV approach, runway 27 from Checkle. Estimates time at Christmas Creek, time 13. Christmas Creek traffic. Yeah, the AU2 does take a lot of editing to get all the other airports working, so I found that myself that I had to constantly double check every airport that I'm going to just to make sure that it's working. I have found a few that don't. This one does. Kind of. There's a few little bumps in this area past the end of the runway, but it doesn't really affect me because I'm only going to the end of the runway, hopefully, not past the end of the runway. But yeah, if you see, look very carefully past the end of the runway, you'll probably see that there's some really weird cliffs going on down there. Yeah, I could see rolling back to version 1 might be useful on occasion. Especially if you're heading out to these kinds of airports out here.
Altitude.
Check. And we'll roll it down to 2002.
Stabilizer motion.
Check. Profile. And letting it down. Traffic Christmas Creek, QJet 1974, turning final runway 27 at 10 miles, passing 4,500. Christmas Creek traffic. Maybe we should have gone for 09er. You're probably right about that because it's the long way to taxi back. Whereas if you land on runway 09, you can usually vacate straight away. Flaps 22. Speed managed. There it is, 180 knots. We'll take full flap 40. There's 145 on the approach speed. Cabin is seated. And one last checklist. Loading checklist, I think you're down 3 green, spoilers around, flaps full, and EAD set. Checklist complete. And I'll take my airplane.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Stabilizer motion. $1,000. Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
$500. $400. $300. $200. $100. $50. $40. $30. $20. $10. $5.
Roll through to the end, to the back. Christmas Creek traffic. QJet 1974 is backtracking at runway 27. Keep the lights on while we're backtracking. I got a brake overheat. Flaps can come up. Guess what happened? The sim crashed again, didn't it? Great. Oh well. Changing views. Just don't do it. Anyway, we kind of got here, didn't we? And that's the 717 for the, foreseeable future. Catch you around.